Here are 3 players to watch in the NCAA tournament that if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Everyone just loves New Mexico to upset number 6, have the potential to go at least one more round. Deron Holmes, Shahade Wells, and Enrique Freeman, 3 players you have to know about. Very tricky slate today. Very tricky list of games today. We have to be careful. I think this one could trip up a lot of people, but you're not going to get tripped up because you're here, Mike Randle, FTN Fantasy College Basketball Betting Show, the Lucky Wiffle Ball. Yes, folks, the Lucky Wiffle Ball here as well. Before we get started, reminder on the bottom of the screen, I am running that scroll. The reason I am doing that is you need to join FTN Fantasy. Remember, FTN Fantasy, you can join us right now. This is not difficult. The most popular question I've received is, how do I get in the Discord? How do I get the parlay? How do I get the top couple picks? It's very easy. I will show you again right now, and then we will get into the picks. All you have to do is go to ftnfantasy.com. There it is right there. At the top of the screen, you just have to sign up. You go to pricing, and you can pick whatever subscription you want. You can get monthly, annual. Remember to use that promo code at the bottom of the screen, early 15, get you 50% off. And then you go to the Discord button up here. And in the Discord, you go through, we talk about the games. We get all our games in there back and forth. We get the lines. Everything that pops up right away goes right in there. So that's where you want to be. I appreciate you subscribing to the YouTube channel, hitting like, all that stuff. But if you want all the insight and all the great stuff we have, Frank Brank drops his plays, Ryan Coleman, Gus Kearns, Walt Waddell, everybody drops their plays. Josh Gross is in there, of course, with North Carolina stuff already. That's where you have to go because we put them in there first, and then the lines move. And when they move, sometimes you don't get the better number. Classic example, Xavier St. John's. You got it right away. You would have got 8.5. Ended up winning by 8, of course, in overtime. Anyway, that is it. That's the housekeeping. Let's see who's in the house today. Who are the people that are here? Let's get fired up. Jameson, you are first, brother. Great to see you. West Virginia. When is DeVries coming back, Jameson? That's what I need to know because they're doing a darn good job without him. Crypto Stable. I think you're a new one, buddy. Good morning, Crypto. Great to see you here. Kyle. Kyle's is a freaking flyer. Let's get going. Great slate games. Yes. Mizzou. I guess Mizzou, Kyle. Yes. Let's have a day, Josh. Appreciate you as well. Positive vibes, Tommy. Always positive vibes. And the Lucky Wiffle Ball. We'll see how that does today. Al, you're in Discord. That's great. From your son's first basketball game. That's fantastic. Go Sparty. Whoa, Al, I don't know about that today. I have my son's game as well later today. It's really fun. Good luck, Al, with everything. Dan, as always, great. Yeah, the Bonnies. I know. I stayed away, Dan. I got stayed away. The Bonnies in Vermont are killing me. They really are. I get it. High Rollin is here. Let's get through it. Questions. Gassa in the house. Appreciate Gassa. Rob Regassa, folks, takes his kids down to the Princeton game. Ends up having to leave early because unfortunately one of them got sick, whose kids aren't sick right now. But what a trooper, Regassa. As always, appreciate it here. Jason in the house. This is great, guys. This is real. We got to get to the slate. The kind words are fantastic. Trevor, Wags as well. Jerry is here. What do we got? Yeah, Niall. Could be a top pick, Niall. Can't say. Oh, here we go. I got 38 games, folks. 38 games. Again, labor of love, college basketball. Here we go in reverse order. And folks, can you hear the screams from Amherst, Massachusetts when I put this one up? Can you hear them? Can you hear them right now? Look, Vermont is one of the worst teams in college basketball against the spread. In fact, let me pull it up. I'll tell you guys, the worst teams right now against the spread. It's really unbelievable. And Vermont, as you know, I love coaches, and coaches matter to me. And I think it's the easiest thing to cap that they're eventually going to get better. But if you look right now in college basketball, the worst teams against the spread. Sam Houston State 3-14. Miami got awful 4-15. Northern Kentucky with Darren Horn, very surprising 5-15. Weber State 4-12-1. And there you go, folks. Tied with Louisiana, Bellarmine, and Arkansas. Our Vermont Catamounts. There you go, 5-14. I just think UMBC stinks. And this is not a big play. I'd say a quarter unit play if you wanted to. Do I think Vermont is going to win? Yes. Do I think they're going to cover? Yes. Am I stupid enough to put them anywhere north of pick 38, the last one? No, I am not. Small play. I don't blame you if you don't want to do it. It's fine. Yeah, I put it up there. My brother-in-law is going to disown me. I get it. It's fine. Okay. SMU favorite on the road? We sure about this? We're really fired up about Andy Enfield's SMU team. I looked at this when I went through the numbers. I just don't get it. Not that I love Kevin Keats. I just don't like SMU on the road. SMU has been very up and down. Sure, they beat Georgia Tech at home, 93-71. They beat Virginia away, last second shot that went in. They beat Miami. Who doesn't? But they lose to Louisville at home. by 25. They get blown out at home by Duke. I know it's Duke. They're wonderful, but no John Shire. North Carolina away, they lose by 15. I just don't think they should be favored on the road here. That's the issue. NC State has struggled with Kevin Keatts. They lost 3 in a row, lost 5 of the last 6. They played a really slow pace, so points at a premium. I just don't want to lay points on the road. And if you don't like this game, it's fine. It's against one of the bottom plays. These are not the top plays. We're going in reverse order, confidence. But I am going to grab a home team getting 3.5 in an ACC game against a team I really don't like. I'm going to do that. Miami stinks. I think they've given up. And you know what name, image, and likeness has done, which no one is talking about? People are losing the interest in playing hard. And the people who just because you get the money doesn't mean you make a huge impact. Take a look at what Baylor's going through right now. California and Mark Madsen may have righted the ship. Mark Madsen does a good job, getting aggressive, really good on the boards. They struggle on offense, but they got Peja Stojakovic's son, Andre Stojakovic, who's been doing pretty well. They've won 2 in a row. They've been NC State away. They beat Florida State at home. Here comes Miami. They're hanging in there. They're 3-5. I just don't trust Miami. I think Miami's given up. They've lost 1, 2, 3, 6, 8 straight games. They just lost at Stanford by 37. You tell me this is a bounce back game? All right, fine. I'll take Mark Madsen in California. Hofstra's getting it right. Speedy Claxton is a really good coach. Really good coach, and they have struggled. So I love betting these teams and backing these teams because I feel they're at the bottom of the market. Speedy Claxton, excellent coach in the CAA. They have struggled, but they're still really good on defense, and they're really good on defense at home. They beat Delaware. They hung 93 on Delaware and destroyed them. Now, I do have Elon coming up away. Campbell has won 2 in a row as well, but Campbell defends the 3. That's not really where Hofstra's going to make their points. They're going to make it on steals. Campbell wants to get some steals also. I just bank on Speedy Claxton. It's a little bit high. I wish it was around 2 or 3, but I do think Hofstra wins. I like Speedy Claxton. I like this team. They have struggled all year. I feel they're finally getting it together like he always does. So that's what this pick is for me. This one is odd because the line flipped. It was Queens minus 1.5. Now it's Queens plus 1.5. I don't care about the movement because sometimes that works for us or against us. But Queens at home has been pretty good this year. Beat Florida Gulf Coast by 9. Beat Stetson hung 96. Beat Mercer, decent team at home. They had a slew of games away. That was their issue. Lipscomb away, that they won. Austin P away, but they won. Stetson away, but they won. Then they go to Florida Gulf Coast with the flip-flop game. They lose that one, fine. And they lost to North Florida, who they were beating the whole game, but they got drilled, I think, in that game. Yeah, they just turned the ball over way too much. 16 turnover against North Florida, which is just bizarre. Now they're playing Jacksonville. Jacksonville, good defensive team, but can struggle on offense. Careful with this one. I just think Queens is really good at home. And I also think in this matchup here, Jacksonville host Florida Gulf Coast coming up. In the A-Sun right now, you have Florida Gulf Coast 6-1 tied with Jacksonville. So the next game that they have is a battle for first place in the conference. Kind of think they're looking past Queens here, who's usually been pretty good at home. I'll take them there. Look, John Griffin in Bucknell, great job. And I interviewed John Griffin, longtime assistant coach, got the head job Bucknell. Good dude, really good dude and good coach. But guys, the only reason we blew that cover against Colgate is because Bucknell decided we're going to make 3s today for the first time all year. Bucknell shooting, and this includes the last game, shooting 32% from three-point range. They were like close to 30. In that game against Cornell, Bucknell comes out, goes 12 of 24 from three-point range. Seriously? Against Colgate. And the spread was like, 9? And they won by 7. I mean, we hit it at the live line, but give me a break with this. So I'm banking on Bucknell not shooting this well from three-point range. Again, BU is usually tough at home. They've been very up and down. James Jones, the coach there, does a good job. I don't think Bucknell can shoot that well. We're not taking Bucknell on the road to win games. We're just not doing that. They'd have to shoot 3s and shoot the lights out. Bucknell, their road games this year, just want to summarize for you. Away Maryland got destroyed. Away Gonzaga got destroyed. Away Syracuse got destroyed. Away Lehigh lost. Away American lost by 10. Away Colgate lost by 7. So if I don't think they're winning on the road, which I do not, then I cannot take them in this spot. I'll take BU. I get it because BU isn't great. That's why I put it down at the bottom. On the other side of the covering that we talked about is Norfolk State. Best teams in college basketball against the spread. Houston Christian, Nebraska, Omaha, San Jose State, Illinois, Chicago, Fairleigh Dickinson, Oregon State, Southeast Louisiana. Also up there is Norfolk State. They are top 10 against the spread. So I'm rolling with Norfolk State here. Very good team, pressure, defense, turn you over. Howard's been a little disappointing this year, has not really played well. This is a high number, but if you look at Howard and the MEAC, they've lost 2 straight games, and they've lost those games to non-Division I schools. Okay. Bowie State and Morehouse. Now they play Norfolk State. Now they are 3-0, Howard, in the MEAC. So this is a fairly big game, which I find funny. Norfolk State lost to Morgan State. I don't see that happening. I think Norfolk State is the class of the MEAC. I think Howard's had a nice little run. I think they're fired up at home. I think they pound Howard today. I have seen Seton Hall. Went down with my 2 cousins, Brian and Jared, great people. See them against Rutgers. They can't score. Seton Hall cannot score. I know they've been missing some players lately, but they cannot score. Shaheen Holloway is in a rebuilding year. He's a wonderful coach. He just doesn't have it this year. They cannot score. They have lost, let's see. They've lost 8 of their last 9. They are 1-7 in conference. The only one they beat was at home to DePaul. They got pounded by Marquette. Now this is a Creighton team that is actually playing very well, that has overcome the loss of Pop Isaacs, that's very good at home. They have Ryan Kalkbrenner inside. They're 6-2. They are somehow still alive in the Big East, even though losing Pop Isaacs. Coach, how good a coach Greg McDermott is. Marquette is 8-1. St. John's is 8-1. Creighton is 6-2. UConn is 6-2. I am taking Creighton laying the big number against Seton Hall. Seton Hall plays good defense. I get it. It's a lot of points. What's to the bottom? That's where we're at right there. 30. Fade of JMU is on. The fade of JMU is on. My buddy Gus Kern's going to be mad about this one. He's an alumnus from JMU. They are only 7-11 against the spread, JMU. And if you look at their recent cover history, it is not good. JMU has failed to cover 8 of their last 10 games. JMU has failed to cover 3, 6, 7 of their last 8 games. JMU did cover the Old Dominion game. That was nice, but they didn't cover against App State. They won, but didn't cover against Marshall. They didn't cover against App State at home. They didn't cover against Marshall. I think they're overinflated. I know Georgia State isn't great, but I do think Georgia State can play well at home, and they can put some points up here and cause some problems for JMU. I think it is too many points. So the fate of JMU has continued, and we will continue to roll with them. Georgia State on a 3-game losing streak, but those games away at Texas State, not easy. Away at Arkansas State, really not easy. And home to Marshall, rough one. Marshall needed to win. Now they have James Madison coming up, have not played them this year, but in their home games prior to the loss against Marshall, beat Louisiana, hung 94, beat Georgia Southern, hung 82, beat Coastal Carolina, hung 79. So they're going to score points today. I think they get the win, and I think they cover. I think they get the win outright, and they're getting the 8.5 points. This one's tricky. A lot of points here. Not a big Miami of Ohio guy, but very quietly, Travis Steele has done a nice job with Miami of Ohio. So Akron today is 6-0 in the MAC, not the MAC, but the MAC, Mid-America Conference. They are tied with Miami of Ohio atop the conference. So this is a battle for first place in the Mid-America Conference. The difference here is I don't think Miami of Ohio is that good. I think Akron is really good. I think John Gross is a good coach. I don't think they're that good. They're 6-0. They've won 8 straight games. It's about time for Travis Steele's Miami Redhawks to sort of take it easy and slow down here. They are great from 3-point range, but Akron can guard the 3. They're also great on the boards, but Akron at home likes to run. They get up and down the floor. They're actually defending the 3 at the best rate in the MAC. Akron's defense is superior. They also make their free throws. They've had some bad luck, 78% against them. So if you look at the records and you look at the standings, your initial reaction here is going to be, why am I getting 7 with Miami of Ohio? I think Akron tells Miami of Ohio, you had a nice little season. See you later. I think Akron wins big in this game. This line has moved. I got it last night for the Discord. You're going to give me 2 points with Greg Campy. I'm going to take it every time. Greg Campy has been fantastic against the spread this year. He's really competed. Even the games that they've lost, they've been winning and giving them back late. Campy is doing again in the Horizon. He's been to Oakland for 40 years. They are 6-4 in the Horizon, but they're right in the middle of it. They got 4 straight wins. Northern Kentucky, IU, Indy, Detroit Mercy, Purdue, Fort Wayne. 2 of those games were away. They have Green Bay coming up against dead man walking Gottlieb and his Green Bay Phoenix. So there's no look ahead here. Yes, Robert Morris is on a nice run. Good job by Andrew Toole. They are also 6-4. You're going to give me points or Greg Campy. I will take it every single time. Oakland plus 2.5. This one's at the bottom. Not a big fan of Rice, and Ron Hunter's a good coach, but it's only 1.5. Both teams need this game. Tulane has played better. They've gotten better as the year has gone on. They started 4-6, but since then they've won 6 of their last 9. They just lost away at Temple in the game they probably should have had, but prior to that at home, beat UTSA, hung 92. Won a non-Division I game, hung 100 points on them. beat Southern Miss at home, hung 86. These are big 20-point wins at home, and they beat Florida Atlantic, won that game. Now, on the road, they have struggled, but I think this is a gettable game. The reason I did not put this higher is because they go to Memphis next Thursday. But it's Thursday. It's not 2 days from now. I know you're going to say look ahead, but I'm a big look ahead guy when it's 6 days or 5 days from now. I'll take them here. Sacred Heart stinks. I'll get to the comments in a minute. Sacred Heart stinks. I don't think they're good at all. Niagara's actually been frisky at home. They just came off was that the Marist game, I think? Yeah. Marist in overtime, tough loss. That's a 4-game losing streak here. Greg Paulus struggling, but all you need to break a losing streak is for Sacred Heart to come walking in. Sacred Heart just brimming with confidence over the win at Canisius on Thursday. Great job, guys. I'll take Niagara here against Sacred Heart. Before we get the top 25, let's get to the comments. Excuse me. Chad, great to see you. I think you're a new one, Chad. Great to see you. Crypto. Hess, first show of the year. First show, Hess. Appreciate you, brother. Okay, doctor. Thank you very much, doctor. Appreciate it. Kansas, a dog at home. Gotta love it. Trevor. Okay. Yeah, DeVries will be back. They are thin, but Javon Small Jameson has been outstanding. I mean, Javon Small is a first team All Big 12 player. There's no doubt about it. Eric, good to see you. Yeah, Niall, again, last play. It's the last play. Niall, just ignore it if you don't want. It's number 38. I mean, just don't even pick it if you don't want. Vermont, we're laughing about it. Roll Tide, Chad, they're getting hot. They're getting very, very hot. Let's see. A lot of good. I love the chatter back and forth here. This is fantastic. Roy, good to see you. Appreciate it. Yeah, volume shooter, Trevor. Volume shooter. That's what we like. Let's see. Hugh, great to see you. Yeah, I can't back Wisconsin, Green Bay. I like Cleveland State, Darryl. I get it. It's a lot of points. I think it's coming up on the show, but I can't. I just can't. Hyro, and I appreciate it. What blows my mind is that my wife is still married to me. That's the thing that blows my mind. Let's see. Yeah, Niagara -2 now. Okay, Jerry. Let's get back to the picks. Appreciate it. Yeah, Florida Gulf Coast. I like Eastern Kentucky. Florida Gulf Coast has been a bit of a wagon this year, but they do have a look-ahead spot coming up. That's the thing that worries me. Florida Gulf Coast is 6-1. They have Jacksonville away, and that is a battle for the A-Sun lead. Both teams are 6-1, so it could be a sleepy spot. Eastern Kentucky, A.W. Hamilton's been good. They disappointed me against Stetson. You want to say it's a look-ahead game, it's fine. Worries me a little bit because I do like the Colonels of Eastern Kentucky. It's on the road. Could be a look-ahead, but I'll take them. Bradley's back. Brian Wardle is back. For a while, Bradley at home. Remember we do the Hulk gift where Bradley at home, they just destroy teams. Well, they struggled early on. They weren't covering at all. But since then, they've won 8 of their last 9. The only game they lost at home was to Drake. No shame there. They're shooting 41% from three-point range, number 2 in the country. Not in the Missouri Valley, in the country. They are now pounding teams. Away at Belmont, hung 89. Murray State took care of them. They're overrated. Home against Indiana State, not a terrible team. Hung 118 points. Bradley at home, Bradley on the road. I think this one for the subs is going to be a first half and a full game. Illinois State, they've won 2 games in a row. Good job. I get it. They're also terrible at defending the 3. That's not good against Bradley. They'll have to shoot well today. They like to rely number 2 in the Missouri Valley in shots that are generated from three-point range. They're going to have to shoot well today. Bradley at home, I don't see it. If they don't shoot well, they're not going to stay in this game. It's going to be a blowout. I'll take Bradley. Yale, Harvard. Harvard stinks. Tommy Amaker has confused me all year long. I don't know what he's doing. I just believe in Yale. Now, they have Princeton coming up. So Harvard, you can say this is a rivalry game. It's too many points. It's fine. But Harvard is not good. They're not good on offense. They're not making their free throws. They're terrible at defending the 3. They're good at forcing turnovers. I get it. But the problem is Yale doesn't give you turnovers. Yale's number 1 in the Ivy League at offensive turnovers. They also make their free throws. You got Poulakidis. Bang is really good. Yeah, you can stay away from this one, but I think Yale covers and wins. Bryant's a bit of a wagon. They play at a fast pace. Binghamton's going to want to play that fast pace with them. That is a mistake. That is not how you beat Bryant. They've won 5 straight games. They have UMBC coming up, so there's no look ahead. They play at the 6th fastest pace in the country. They are also really good defending inside the arc. Binghamton generates most of their points from inside the arc. They're terrible on defense. Binghamton's also terrible at turnovers. So you're going to Bryant. You're playing Bryant, who wants to get up and down the court. You are the worst turnover team in the America East, and you're not great on defense. What is the argument here for Binghamton exactly? Bryant just doesn't make shots? Maybe. I don't know. It could be a Colgate situation against Bucknell, but I'll take my chances. I mean, enough of this. I'm not a Rodney Terry guy. Wade Taylor is back. He did not play well in his last game. The only reason this game is not higher is because they did play earlier this year, and Texas A&M drilled Texas 80-60. So this is a bit of the flip-flop spot, right? Back on January 4th, they drilled Texas 80-60. They're still not great on offense. They did beat Mississippi, even though Wade Taylor did not play well. They are away in this game, but I do trust Buzz Williams. I don't trust Rodney Terry. Is Kaluma, can somebody tell me in the chat, is Kaluma playing or not playing? Kaluma may not be playing in this game also. Let me just check what Rothstein said. Somebody find that for me. Is Arthur Kaluma? It's another one I think I read last night because I've fallen asleep. That's why I couldn't even sleep, because I saw Kaluma. I got excited. Tell me if he's playing or not. What does Rothstein have? I don't really care whether he's playing. It would really help me a little bit if he's not, because I think it would be even more of a slam. Emmanuel Sharp is going to try to go today for Houston. Yeah, let me know if you find that about Kaluma. I'm not sure. I'm going to go on, but let me know if you find it. BC stinks, my alma mater. Love them very much. Had a great time there. Great memories, but they stink. And North Carolina is due to put a number on someone. Really good, big fan here of Jackson as well. If you want to go for Jackson as a separate play, I'm fine with that. Boston College is going the wrong way. They were good at controlling pace early on. They got some weird upsets. They beat Boise State on a neutral. I mean, just weird stuff. But since then, Georgia Tech away lost by 20. Syracuse home lost by 8. Notre Dame away lost by 18. Lost by 18, Notre Dame not going to lose by 20, North Carolina. Duke home lost by 25. No shame there. Virginia, they ended up playing they played away at Virginia. Lost that, got blown out of that game. I don't see it. So I'm going to take North Carolina in this matchup, and I am fine taking Ian Jackson if you want to go over with his points also as a prop. I laid 3.5. This is down to 2.5. My argument is this. Mark Byington has come over from James Madison as coach Vanderbilt, and this is a great job. He's been wonderful. I mean, Vanderbilt is 15-4. They're 3-3 in the SEC. You're telling me that Vanderbilt is going to beat Tennessee and Kentucky within 3 games? They beat Tennessee at home on Saturday, January 18th. Then they're going to beat Kentucky Saturday, January 25th. That's what's going to happen? I don't see it. Kentucky coming off the loss to Alabama also. It was a close game. They only lost by 5, and Alabama shot well in that game. I think Kentucky's better. I do not think Vanderbilt has the chops to beat Tennessee and Kentucky 2 consecutive weekends. I don't. I'm sorry. I get it. Byington's good. Gives his kids a lot of freedom. Pope is a better coach. Kentucky needs the win. They just lost to Alabama. I'm not buying it. I'll take that there. UNLV against New Mexico. I do fade New Mexico a lot. Somebody brought that up. I just don't trust them. I don't trust them. And now they're going on the road here against UNLV. UNLV is pretty good at home. They beat Utah State at home. They beat San Diego State away. They lose to Wyoming. They're a little up and down, but I don't trust New Mexico. New Mexico's 8-1. They go away to Utah State after this as a 2-game road trip. This is a sleepy spot. I'll take UNLV plus 4.5 here. Here's the aforementioned Cleveland State. I put it at 16 because I just think I think Green Bay's given up. I don't think they have any motivation at all. Cleveland State is the number 1 team in the conference, in the league. I don't see them coming back and winning this game. I get it if you're nervous because it's on the road and it's a lot of points. That's fine. But Cleveland State has been, I'm sorry, they're home. Yeah, I apologize. They're home. Cleveland State has been a wagon. They do have Purdue Fort Wayne coming up. I get it. But they're home games. They beat Northern Kentucky by 18. They beat Detroit Mercy by 15. They beat Wright State, who's much better than Green Bay, by 14. They pounded Oakland by 18. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I know it's a lot of points. It's fine. App State coming off the loss. That was a bad loss against Arkansas State. They fought back. They could not shoot in that game. This is a bank on regression. Appalachian State struggled early with Dustin Kearns. They were 0-2 in the Sun Belt. Then they ripped off 5 straight wins. Texas State, Coastal, JMU twice, and Old Dominion. They played Arkansas State, guys, in that game against Arkansas State. Arkansas State's really good. They shot 2 of 27 from three-point range. 2 of 27 from three-point range. And this is a team coming into that game that was shooting 37% from three-point range. I think they get right here against Louisiana Monroe. No look ahead at all for them. Coming up after this game, they have Old Dominion and Georgia State. So you're going to get their best effort here. I think this game is 10-2, App State, timeout, Louisiana Monroe. American and Colgate are a bit of a rival. There's a little bit of rivalry in the Patriot. Colgate has dominated the Patriot year in and year out, but they haven't been at their normal level most of the year. They're getting better, and their numbers look pretty good, but American's a good rival. American beat them last year. American beats them last year at Colgate, 66-64. American is going to be up for this game, and they're 6-1. They've won 6 straight games. 5 straight games, rather, Colgate. And I think American's ready to go. And American has won 4 straight games themselves. They're 5-2. If American wants to win the Patriot League, they need this game. They can't fall 2 games behind Colgate with only one time playing them here. So you're going to get a max effort. It's only 2.5. I get it, but I'm taking American. I like them in this spot. I think they're going to play well. They're home. It's Colgate on the road. Not afraid of the money line play. Also, Elon is really physical. They push Charleston around. This is not your normal Charleston team. Remember, this is Chris Mack on Charleston now. Elon has very quietly become one of the best teams in the CAA under Billy Taylor. They are 5-2. They are 1 game behind William & Mary and Towson. It's William & Mary, Towson, UNC Wilmington, Elon, and Charleston. I think they get separation here. Elon is home. They're great on the boards. They're super physical. They're good defensively. They can't make threes, but they do make their free throws, and teams have made free throws against them all year long, whereas with Charleston, teams are only shooting 66% from the free throw line. So you're not going to have the free throw advantage with Charleston that you normally have. I'll take Elon here with these points. Not a fan of Murray State. I will take Belmont. Belmont with Casey Alexander always has a solid coach on the bench who's going to come up with some good stuff. Belmont is away in this game against Murray State. They're coming off the rough loss to Bradley, but before that, they reeled off 5 straight wins here in the Missouri Valley. Belmont is lurking. You have Bradley at 8-1. You have Drake at 7-2. Then you have a bunch of teams really, really close, and I think one of them is Belmont, who I think is going to go to 7-3 today. Belmont has a chance to really get involved in the conference. They have Bradley coming up away. They do have Murray State again at home. The rest of the games are very winnable. Northern Iowa, they have at home, who they lost 2 away. So a favorable schedule for Belmont. I'll take them in the 4.5. Radford is better. They've lost 2 games in a row. I think they get the win here, even though it's at Presbyterian. Radford, Darius Nichols, really well coached. Always get off to hot starts on the road, too. So sometimes they give them back. They've lost 2 straight games away at Charleston Southern, home, a really close game to Longwood. They played well. I think they get right here against Presbyterian, who has not impressed me. Presbyterian plays at a slow pace. They don't really shoot shots well. They're not great on the boards. They don't do anything well. They're just okay. So the Blue Hose here, I think, get the loss at home. This game's a track meet. I know it's a rivalry game, but South Dakota State is fine in these rivalry games. They usually bury their opponents. They're the dominant team in the Summit. They lost a lot of players early on, so they struggled. They lost 2 of their first 3 games in the Summit League, but Eric Henderson gets it right. The team is developing chemistry now. They hung 109 in North Dakota at home. They beat Oral Roberts, who's pretty good, by 14. They beat a good Kansas City team away by 1. Now they're coming home against South Dakota. They got North Dakota State away as well. They got a slew of rivalry games. South Dakota State, North Dakota, but this one's at home. I think they get it, and they win big in this matchup. Davidson getting points on the road. Get out of here. Chris Mooney's squad has been better. They actually competed well at UMass and played well, Richmond. They won that game, and they've lost 4 straight games. But what I will tell you about Richmond is those games have been tough. Close loss away at George Mason. Close loss at home to Rhode Island. Tough game away at St. Bonaventure. Tough game against St. Louis. Home against Davidson is not tough. This is a tough game. They're good on defensive boards. They don't turn the ball over. They're also good at making free throws. Not a Davidson guy. Little soft, can be pushed around. Matt McKillop's team is really benefited in A-10 games. They're only 2-4 in the A-10. It's not like they're good in the A-10, but teams are shooting 62% from the free throw line against them. That just was normal, like 70, not even more than 70. 70, they would have a couple more losses. They probably not even have a win in the A-10. Okay, last few games. Remember, I hold these back for the Discord people. So I'll just tell you what the games are. It is a 7-team parlay today. It's a 7-team parlay for the subs. I got Florida, Georgia is one of the games. Notre Dame, Virginia is another game. Stanford, Florida State. Troy, South Alabama. Louisiana Tech, Middle Tennessee State. Xavier, UConn. And Rutgers versus Michigan State. And if you don't know who I'm taking there, then you don't know me very well. Let's get to the comments, folks. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, Wisconsin, Green Bay, auto. Yeah. I agree. Maurice, good to see you, buddy. From Louisville, 502. Yeah, Pat Kelsey, Maurice, has been incredible. Hey, what a job he's done. Boy, the UMass fans are burning that he took that job. Remember, Pat Kelsey took the UMass job and he backed out before the press conference. Louisville is back. They are back and they are rolling. Absolutely fun having them in the mix. Seattle money line. Okay. Rutgers, I can't comment on, Joe, but I think you know my answer. Seattle money line. Huh? Let me see that one. Are they home, Joe? When Seattle's home, they're pretty good. Yeah, they're home against Utah Valley. Oh, I can get there. Utah Valley, Todd Phillips, second year. They're 6-0 in the conference. Yeah, I can get there. Columbus probable. Thank you, Wags. I really don't care. Yeah, top five. Yeah. Toledo. Bowling Green stinks. Enough of that garbage. Roy, appreciate it. Yeah, he's doing okay, Roy. He's doing all right. It was the first time playing, so we had some backcourt issues, but he's good. He's good at screening now. We're setting screens. Who set screens in fourth grade? Camps out in the key. We don't call 3 seconds, thank God, but he hits the jumper. He's doing okay. It's fun. Let's see. Down to 14, may double dip on Cleveland State. I get it. Alec, it could hit today. Today could be the day. We did hit a people's parlay once. Joey overslept the half. Stetson with the half-court winner. Great one, Joey. I was so happy for you. Thought about right there. Dan, thoughts on Drake? Did not put this one in there. Let's see what Drake. It's away. They got Northern Iowa at home coming up. Missouri State with Kwanzaa struggled. Yeah, it's a lot. Dan, I wish it was 5-4. I get it. I'm fine with that. Go Spiders. I agree. Thoughts on SLU, Kyle? Let me see what St. Louis. I like St. Louis, but I passed on that one, I think. They're away at G-Dub. They're getting better. They're good at defending the three. G-Dub's lost 3 in a row, though. They need this win. I think there's better spots. Kyle, I think there's better spots for that one. Let's see. Yeah, they're going the wrong way. I just think I don't like Brett. I don't like Adrian Autry. I don't think Adrian Autry is a good coach. I don't like the guy who follows the man. I like the guy who follows the man who follows the man. So I'm not a Syracuse guy. That's the problem. It's a lot of points. I agree. Pitt is going the wrong way. Boy, I hated Jeff Capel to start. Then I apologize. As soon as I apologize, Pitt has been in the tank. That's a stay away from me. My lean is Syracuse, but I don't have a strong enough to make it a play. Matt wants South Carolina at home. Against Mississippi State. Mississippi State's really good. And they're coming off the loss to Tennessee. I'm not touching that one. No way, Matt. Not touching that one at all. No comment, Jerry. Billikens -1.5. We just talked about that. And thoughts on Winthrop, Jerry. Last one for me. Yeah, Winthrop today playing High Point. Game is away. I'm not a Winthrop guy. They're terrible from the free throw line. High Point, no look ahead. I lean High Point if I have to there. Little upset. They beat USC, obviously, but not big. They only beat Presbyterian home by 11. I think there's better spots, Jerry. That's my thought. My official statement. There you go. As always, guys, make sure ftmfantasy.com. It's where you have to go. You see on the bottom, 15% off early 15. The baseball stuff, the packages, all coming out. March Madness, one great stuff for you. Frank Brank's models. The conference tournaments. We hit the conference tournaments so hard. Trust me. Frank runs those models and gives you his odds to win the conference. He hit 2 last year. You hit 2 of those. It pays for everything that you had here at FTN the entire year. Love it. Appreciate it. Oh, Niall, one other question. Sorry, bud. Thoughts on Providence? Yeah, I didn't like this. This is Cooley going back to Providence. No idea. I got no clue there. It's Cooley back to Providence. They hate him. Providence hasn't played well. Hopkins is out. No feel there whatsoever. Anyway, I got to go, folks. Getting out of here. Get ready. FTN Fantasy. We find you the edge. Make sure you join us, ftnfantasy.com. We got your NFL championship plays, all that great stuff. We'll be back on Tuesday. And next week, I got a surprise for you. One of those games. I got a surprise for you. And maybe another parlay to give away. Here are 3 players to watch in the NCAA tournament that if you don't know, you better ask somebody.